I like that. You're part of the choir last night? Hi, Grandpa!
And twirl them with your hands, not with,
They want you to put your head in and which I don't like. Yeah.
That's all right. Participant leadership.
And so, the style is the stand. Some people like there, they like to throw out.
I don't think that is the life.
Let us pray. Our gracious and merciful God, we give you thanks for Augsburg College, for those who teach, those who learn, those who lead and counsel and guide. We especially thank you for these men and women who on this day will receive their degrees. Today they are able to look back and celebrate their learning, their new discoveries, the wisdom they have gained, the hard work they have done, the laughter and the joy they have shared, and the relationships they have formed. We thank you for their families and friends who have given their love and support to these students throughout the years. And as they move out from here into whatever lies ahead, we ask that you will go with them to protect them, to guide them, to inspire them, and to be gracious to them. We thank you that you are our faithful God. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Good afternoon. My name is Charles Anderson. As president of Augsburg College, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this commencement service. We are very proud of these women and men who have completed this phase of what we assume will be their lifelong learning, and we're grateful to all of you who have made their successes possible. This is the 127th year of Augsburg's life and the 124th year at this location in Minneapolis. Just as with human beings, it is often not simply the number of years, but their quality that is the more important measure. So our goal is not simply to become older, but better. Not simply to become more venerable, but more valuable to our students and the church and the community. Today's class, with over 565 candidates for graduation, is the second largest in our 127 years. This has been a great weekend. On Friday, tucked in the midst of meetings of faculty and regents, we had the groundbreaking for a new library and information technology center. And now we are facing this great class on this great day, and you are all welcome. A few years ago, I happened on a column in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune that dealt with some of my continuing interests. Health was one, exercise was one, and medical advice, if it's free. The column handled all of these themes, and in addition, it was clear. It was free from the polysyllabic and arcane jargon. I threw those words in just to illustrate what I'm trying to avoid. Free from the jargon that often afflicts many professional persons. It was clear, it was interesting, and it was funny. My wife and I read and have kept these columns as they appeared, and a few months ago the Augsburg volunteers were working on a Tuesday on a mailing to alumni, and my wife came home with the news that doctor who writes the column is one of ours. You get sort of possessive when you've been around a place for a long time. Let me illustrate how he works by combining medical insight, everyday application, and humor. I could have picked any one of many columns, but I take one on exercise. He took off on running the Twin Cities Marathon. That was the hook, and noted 6,500 people were each paying $35 to run 26 miles, quote, roughly the same cost as taking a cab. And then he went on to talk about how doctors are always nagging people about exercise. and this is a characteristic quote, "Exercise can be even more important than medicine. I have patients who would be better off if they came for their appointments and spent the entire 15 or 20 minutes exercising right there in the little room. Of course, that wouldn't make me much of a doctor. It would make me a personal trainer with my own line of exercise clothing and a workout show on cable access TV." Our speaker graduated from Augsburg in 1978. Majoring in English, he also completed all the pre-med courses, so he would be prepared to go to medical school if there were no jobs in English. He says that he is a writer, first of all, but did go to medical school because there were no jobs. I'm glad he's here, if for no other reason than to be a living study of liberal arts adaptability. He graduated at the University of Minnesota Medical School in 1983. He is in family practice at the Park Nicollet Clinic, a staff physician at Methodist Hospital. His wife is also a medical doctor, and she is here today. He is a researcher in medicine. He is also a writer, a speaker, a comic, having appeared on both coasts, an author, a book, an interesting title, Trust Me, I'm a Doctor. In preparation for this afternoon, our speaker took an almost unheard of step, at least in my tenure at this school. He came to campus to talk to students. His experience was described in the Tribune column on Friday, May 17th, the day before yesterday. He wanted to see how things had changed. He wanted to know how to contact people with different concerns. "This was my problem," he wrote. "It's been almost 20 years since I graduated from college. While I'm not yet a codger, I have become at least an old guy." Well, as one who with a few faculty colleagues, and they know who they are, as one who certainly qualifies as an Augsburg codger, I am delighted to present an Augsburg old guy, Dr. Mike DePaolis.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anderson. That was an incredible introduction. I guess I sound good on paper. I've never heard all that stuff said all at the same time. It's kind of neat. But of course, on a day like this, none of that is really important. I think on a day like this, only one thing is really important, and that's the fact that I am not Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold is off in Wisconsin giving commencement speeches, I guess, the school where he got his degree in lifting heavy objects. I'm sorry, I am not Arnold. It could be worse, however. There is a school out east who's getting Kermit the Frog. It's true. While I'm not nearly as famous, at least there's no guy lying on the floor behind me with one arm up my gown trying to work my mouth, so. So I'm happy for that. It's got to be hard to keep your dignity at a Muppet graduation, I think. I found out from the alumni office who the students wanted to have speak. Evidently, I think I remember this when I was here too, the students get to vote on who they'd like to have speak, and I was not on the list. The number one and two choice were Hillary Clinton and Sam Donaldson. I know, I guess the theme being unusual hairstyles. I didn't qualify, I'm afraid. It's quite an honor to be here. I want to thank you all for having me speak. To come back to your college and give a commencement speech is an amazing feeling. It really is. It's quite an honor to be here. I can't believe it quite yet. I've run into old teachers of mine here today. They cannot believe it. My old roommates are having trouble believing it. It's an amazing honor to come back. You know, when they first asked me, when Dr. Anderson called me to ask me to do this, obviously I was a little nervous about this. I haven't given a commencement speech ever before, and naturally I was nervous. I wrote to one of my idols, columnist Dave Barry, who's given these like a zillion times, and I asked him what to do, what should I talk about, and he wrote back and said, "Be sure to point out that the future lies ahead. He also told me that the more time you spend early in your speech recognizing faculty, assistant faculty, clinical faculty, graduates, parents, maintenance workers, the more time you spend recognizing people, the less actual speech you have to give. Which I took as good advice, basically meaning keep it short. I also called Dr. David Wood, who gave this speech a couple of years ago, former teacher here at Augsburg, and he also gave me some advice. He said, basically, keep it short. He also told me, don't wear any clothes under your gown. Because it gets very hot and very sweaty, and I'm not going to tell you if I followed his advice or not. You'll have to come to the reception to find out. Then I called the alumni office and I said, can I see some of the old speeches? And they said, sure, we've got some on tape. We'll send them to you. They sent me several speeches, and they said, but yours doesn't have to be that long. Let's try to keep it short. Everybody I asked for advice said the same thing. Keep it short. That's what I heard from everyone. Keep it short. Evidently, you cannot have a commencement speech that is too short. It's impossible. After talking to people, I figured I'd just come up here, wave, and sit back down. And I know. Yeah, thank you. So thanks very much. Well, I mean, really, how hard can this be? You know, I was very nervous about this, and I realized this is something where the less you say, the better you do. Which is not unlike a lot of things in life. The less you say, the better you do, which I know was not true when I was here writing papers for the English teachers. So it's an amazing honor to come back to my school, and Dr. Anderson talked about this. I wrote about this on Friday. I felt kind of a special duty because having been a student here, I wanted to make sure I could relate to the students now. I wanted to make sure that I could represent the things that they were thinking about, to talk about the things that they were interested in. The problem is, as he also said, what do I know? It's been like almost 20 years since I was here. I turned 40 next month. Believe me, I am an old guy. And things have really changed since I was here. I mean, it's been 18 years. For one thing, all of you are about 12 years old, as far as I can tell. Everyone looks so young from when I was here. Dr. Anderson is now the president of the college. At the time, he was actually the dean of the college when I was here, which meant that he got to meet the students who were in trouble. We didn't have a chance to meet before, at least as far as he remembers, and I'm not going to tell him. Things have changed a lot. I mean, they have cash machines here in the Commons. This was amazing to me. They have AstroTurf. They have a huge stack of yellow cube things by the dorms. Obviously, I'm not getting something here. The house where I lived has not changed. Zeta House is still here, although it's going to be leaving soon, I understand. That's still the same. In fact, I walked by today. I think I still saw some of my socks hanging in the third floor window. That's still the same. That will give way to the new library, it sounds like. So I wanted to find out what to talk about, what you really are interested in, what I should talk about when I was here. So I did. I dressed up in my best college clothes, my bell-bottoms and love beads and buckskin jacket, and I came here to ask people what to talk about. I was undercover. I fit right in, too. Some old guy trying to fit in. So the first people I ran into were basically students that were complaining about the classes that they had to take. Classes were evidently hard, which I figure is okay. That's college. That hadn't changed much. I mean, I fit right back in. I started complaining about the classes I had when I was here. Students were worried about fees. They were worried about money, and they were worried about making the transition to the next phase of life. They were worried about working hard. I mean, this all happened when I was here, too. Not much had really changed. They were worried about not having enough fun. I remember that. Although as I look back now, I remember the fun, so it was there somehow. I remember as I was here talking to people, I put this in the paper too, this really happened. I was standing here talking to people and I thought, oh man, I gotta get to class. I would obviously slip back into my student mode pretty easily. what you're all worried about was what I used to worry about, making the transition to the next level. How do you take this liberal arts education and turn it into, A, a job, and B, a life? The same kind of thing I worried about at that time. A couple of people, when I came and asked them what to talk about, two people said the same thing, was, you're the speaker, that's your job, you figure it out. One person said, just say the same thing they said in high school. And I said, what did they say in high school? And he said, I don't remember. Which is the other key to giving a commencement speech. None of you will remember anything that I say. And you'll graduate just the same. He said, I really don't remember what they talked about, just keep it short. The other thing people complained about when I was talking to them was having to take a variety of classes that they didn't want to take. Augsburg is a liberal arts school. You have to take several things that really weren't your idea. I remember this when I was here. I remember when I was here, I had to take things like economics. I had to take social sciences. I had to take cultural awareness. And of course, Augsburg being the college of the city, I had to take a class that involved the city, which was a pretty broad category, but I had to take a class like that. I wouldn't have done any of those things. None of that was my idea. When I left here, in some ways, I remember thinking I'd been educated against my will. I knew better. I was absolutely 100% sure when I got here that I was going to be a psychology major, and then a biology major, and then I was an art major for a while, and then I was a chemistry major, and then I finally finished an English major. I was glad, as I look back now, this is honestly true, none of you will believe this, but I'm glad that they made me take things I didn't want to take. If nothing else, they made me use my creativity while I was here. I took art classes, I took English classes. They made me use that part of me, and then later I went to medical school, where they try to beat that out of you by making you work long hours and stay up nights. And I think if I hadn't had such a good base from being here, that might have all died out. I was busy trying to learn things like the Krebs cycle and the chemical composition of earwax, and I had no room left for creativity. But luckily, they made me take it here. And now as I look at it, I write a newspaper column which deals with culture in the city and makes fun of things like economics and social sciences. So if a speech has to have a main message, and my wife says that it does, this is the main message. You're all leaving here, you're going to go out and be something. You're going to go out and be a something. You're going to be a doctor or an engineer or a dad. As you all go out and be a something, just remember what you learned here, that you're also much more than that. Now, I try to tell this to all of you, but the truth is, I learned that here, so you probably all did too. As you leave, remember the things they made you do here. You may be surprised that it comes in handy. I know I was. Look what happened to me. This is the kind of diversity that I talk about with people, not necessarily diversity between groups, but just diversity within yourself, having a lot of different parts to you that you exercised when you were here and trying to keep them active and alive for later. Here's another thing I learned from the students as I was talking here. I came and asked them what was important, and they said, when you talk about the happy times. Talk about our 4 years here. Talk about the friendships that we made. Talk about the professors and teachers that will have a profound influence on us as we leave. We had teachers in high school, but we weren't mature enough yet to appreciate it. The professors here, the teachers here are the ones that are really going to guide us as we go on into life. Talk about the spiritual side. That surprised me. I had a very large student who must have been the entire front line in the football team tell me that the spiritual side of things was important, and that's one of the reasons he came here. Talk about the college of the community. Talk about how we're a part of the city, we're a part of the community, and that's an important part of what we learned here. So what this reminded me was why I came here 18 years ago. I think as I've been out now and I've gone to other levels, medical school, other training, I know that I got a good education at Augsburg, but honestly, I think I kind of started to take it for granted until I came back and remembered all the things that I learned here and the reasons that I came here. And it's been a lot of fun to come back and rekindle those memories and those ideas. I remember now what an impact Augsburg had on me. I remember how much it meant to me. Try and figure out if I'm going to get a call from the alumni fund after saying that. One of the things that I love about my wife, one of the million things that I love about my wife, is that whatever stage of life she's at is the most fun stage she's ever had. This was true as a student, as a medical student, as a doctor, as a wife, as a mother. Whatever stage she's at, it gets funner and funner for her. And I've learned that from her, which is one of the reasons this is such a great day. This is so great. You guys, you're all grown-ups now. Even if you weren't before, you are now. There's no way you can hide it. But I've got to tell you that being a grown-up is a lot of fun, and it gets better and better. Now, as I said, you won't remember anything that I've told you so far, but I don't care. That's all right. I appreciate the chance to come back to my college and talk, and I hope you'll at least all remember the things that you took with you from here, because now I've remembered, and I'm very proud that I went to school here, just like you did. Thank you all very much for having me come and speak, and good luck to everyone.
Mark is right. I was the dean when he was here, and I remember people, if they are in trouble, I invited him, as a matter of fact, on the basis of the quality of his writing and the picture that's on the column in the newspaper. Saturday, I looked up the 1978 yearbook, and I recognized him immediately. That's not really true. I did look it up on Saturday, but he was never in trouble. We're grateful for the many gifts he brings as a healer and certainly as a communicator, and pleased that you would come and be with us today. It is my pleasure to present the representatives of the class of 1996. They will come forward in the order listed without further introduction: Thomas Adams, Bradley Hadraba, and Stephen Johnson. Thomas.
I know it's kind of hot and cramped in here today, but some of us have been waiting a long time for today, so if you can bear with us for a little bit. First and foremost, I'd like to thank God, my Heavenly Father above, without whose mercy and guidance I would not be able to stand before you here today. Secondly, I would like to thank my family and extended family, as I stand here an extension of them and a manifestation of their love and guidance towards nurturing me. And as I name some members of my family, I would ask that each and every graduate here today, either mentally or verbally, thank the people or persons responsible for them being here today. I'd like to thank my wife, Lisa Lorraine Sales Adams, without whose encouragement and support I would have given up a long time ago. I'd like to thank my aunt and uncles and parents and mother-in-law, whose food and words of encouragement and clothing help provide me and my family through many difficult times. And lastly, but certainly not least, I would like to thank my children, Jatea, who's walking around, Isaiah and Elijah, whose unconditional love and whose commitment to me to help keep me grounded in knowing that I have many roles besides that of a student. I'm a father, I'm a son, a nephew, an uncle, a brother, a cousin, and their commitment towards me helped keep me grounded and not let graduate school consume me. So I would like to thank them very much. As I graduated with my undergraduate degree and got into my field of choice, my goals began to change quite quickly. I became aware that I wanted to have a more broader impact. I wanted to have a systemic change versus the more personal change that I was having. And in doing that, I thought my best way to accomplish that would to be in a leadership position. And as I began to take a personal inventory of myself on what it would take for me to be a better leader, I came up with three things that I needed to improve on. I needed to improve my self-confidence. I needed to improve my competence and my credibility, that people see me as credible. And I needed to have a deeper and higher understanding of my profession. And I thought the best way to accomplish those goals would be to get a graduate degree. And as I began to look for an institution to go back for my graduate degree, I knew that I needed to have an institution that would be able to handle the many unique needs that I brought as a non-traditional student. They would have to understand that I worked full-time, so I was looking for a weekend college format. They would have to understand that I had a family, and so that I had other responsibilities besides that of getting an education. And I was looking for a school in the city, in a smaller setting, for a more individualized focus that I felt I would need after being away from college for a couple of years. And those decisions brought me to this institution here today. And when I got here, it took a while, but I did find diversity. I found diversity in age and diversity in income and life experiences. I found diversity in geographic location. And the faculty has promised me to improve on this, and I found a little bit of diversity in ethnic origin, but that's okay. I know they're doing a good job on that. Another thing I found was I found that my experiences and my realities were validated, that I was seen as credible, I was seen as competent, and I was able to contribute to others' learnings. And as I had my experiences and realities validated, I had to validate others' experiences and realities. And that was kind of difficult. Some of those experiences conflicted with mine and contradicted with mine, and it was a growing process. Another thing I found here at Augsburg was the adult style of learning, that we weren't seen as empty vessels coming into the institution to be filled with all types of knowledge, that our experiences and our realities were validated by the faculty here as well. And they helped us harness those experiences and to look back on those and use those in decision-making processes. And that was very reassuring and was very comforting to find that when I got here from the faculty. Excuse me. I think what I'll take from me, skipping a little bit, what I'll take from me when I leave Augsburg is I'll take first and foremost relationships. Relationships that were formed with the faculty and the colleagues here on a personal and professional note. I have faculty here that if I don't see for another 5 to 10 years, that we have a mutual respect for one another born out of our process of graduate school. I have colleagues here and faculty here that I have formed personal relationships with. They are now my friends, and that's very exciting to understand that I will be going on into the rest of my life with an increased social and friendship that I've gained here, so I'm very happy for that. Another thing that I gained here is I gained the self-confidence I was looking for. I gained the competence that people see me now as being credible. And I also gained a higher and deeper understanding of my field of choice. I also gained a new found sense of struggle and perseverance. It's been a very difficult 2 years here. I've had two children birthed during my graduate school process here. I've changed jobs twice. My wife has changed jobs. We've changed income brackets. So it's been very difficult. And I know other graduates here have lost children and have birthed children. Other graduates have been through divorces, have gotten married and changed jobs. But through it all, we're still here. And I think the thing that kept us here was our individual motivating factors that propelled us through this process. I know for me, an individual factor that kept me here was that I'm a role model. I'm a role model for my children. I'm a role model for the community. And I felt that by showing them that it's okay to struggle for something that's worthwhile, that if I could do that, then they would see that as important. I also stayed here because I like to dispel myths. I like to dispel the myth of an educated African-American male being an endangered species. And that was one reason why I stayed here. But again, we've all stayed here, and I would ask that we all remember these, whatever motivating factors kept us here, that we remember those and that we harness that energy and use that energy when we face future difficult periods in our life. And as we leave this institution today as graduates with advanced degrees and prepare to accept leadership positions in whichever field we may find ourselves, education, social work, business, healthcare, computers, I ask that we leave with a single, unifying and rallying cause, and that cause is a cause for social justice. And that we be committed to eradicating any and all social ills in any way, shape, or form that they may manifest themselves in this country, be that racism, sexism, discrimination, inequalities in unemployment and employment, inequalities in education and income, that as leaders and future leaders, we be committed to stamping out those very destructive and divisive ills on any level we find ourselves, be that county, state, federal, city, or local, that together we stand in unison to form a zero tolerance for social inequality in this country. And in doing so, I know that we can help to establish and preserve a society that is one that values and appreciates and most of all respects every citizen here. And in closing, I would like to thank the faculty for giving me this opportunity to address the graduates. And I would like to thank my family again. And I would like to thank the graduates here because we've worked hard and we deserve this. And congratulations to us. Thank you.
In the spirit of keeping it short, as King Henry VIII said to his sixth wife, "I won't be keeping you long." Four years ago, when we stepped foot on this campus, our cumulative worth society was something less than it is today. Many of us thought that our Augsburg experience would just be a stepping stone to our careers and our future lives. With this in mind, quite a few of us packed up and moved into a 9-story dormitory on campus here, nicknamed Ernest the Furnace, because the average temperature was around 95 degrees, with the windows down and the fans blowing hard. After this pleasant experience of dorm life and cafeteria food, many of us decided that residence life and Marriott's attempts at mom's cooking were no longer desirable. So for those, a search for adequate housing off campus, which didn't include living underneath a bridge somewhere in the city, began. But most important, because the price tag associated with it was our educational experience. We were coerced to take a broad base of perspectives, which were designed to enlighten us and broaden our understanding of the world. But on occasion, we felt as if they were designed to throw a monkey wrench into our schedule and increase our stress of trying to complete all the perspectives in order to graduate in 4 years. But in retrospect, I'm sure that we all understand the importance of our liberal arts education. In addition to our education, Augsburg has provided a diverse campus with students from as far east as Tokyo, Japan, and as far north as Rasta, Norway. The significance of these aspects in our Augsburg education are their contributions to our success as graduates and, most importantly, as people. Due to Augsburg's urban location and liberal arts exposure, we have been in an area where we aren't sheltered from the real things that go on in the world. Because of this, we have the ability to lead successful lives. To some, this means a quick ascent on the corporate ladder, while others will gauge their success by how positively they affect the elementary school students which they are teaching. The way we judge our success isn't what is important. What is important is what we have not forgotten and what we have done in our experience here at Augsburg College. I urge you, once you get to the top, to look over your shoulder and offer a hand to someone who has theirs outstretched. Thank you. Congratulations, class of '96.
Good afternoon. It's not every day I get the honor of speaking in front of twice the number of people as there is in my hometown, just to top it off, as I was walking in today, I happened to see 164th of my high school graduating class. Kind of amazing considering that was about 14 years ago. When I first started preparing for this speech, I didn't know what I wanted to talk about because there were so many different topics that came to mind. There wasn't just one that really jumped out. Then a few weeks ago, I was in my backyard doing some spring raking with my 3-year-old daughter, Melissa. She comes out and says, "Dad, I like it when you're home." I try to spend as much time with Melissa as I can, but with school and work and everything else, I just can't seem to find to spend enough time with her. Her little comment only confirmed my suspicions. Each of us graduating today has made sacrifices of family and friends in order to achieve and accomplish our educational goals. And each of us can think of at least one instance where we've had to say no to family and friends in order to do this. For me, it's the times that I've given up with Melissa and my wife in order to do the fun things in life. I'm sure many of you have given up nights and spent till 3 o'clock in the morning studying and cramming instead of going out to a movie with friends. Either that or you were up till 3 o'clock in the morning because you went to the movie. We all could have at one point or another just even said the heck with finishing our degrees. For us WEC students, I know that none of us like to spend 3 weekends here in the month of June. But each of us hung on and we made it through to July. So was it all worth it? Of course it was. We all made friends along the way, and we all should have some feeling of accomplishment. But most of all, our family and our friends will now hold us at a higher regard for the sacrifices that we made to get here today. The sacrifices we make, and the examples we set as parents and teachers and leaders in the community will carry over to our children. And it's an unbelievable feeling to be in this room today, knowing that it holds the newest generation of teachers and leaders this country has to offer. Those individuals who are willing to make the necessary sacrifices. And it's a personal comfort knowing that my children will learn not just from my sacrifices, but from yours as well. Congratulations to the graduating class of 1996 for making the necessary sacrifices to obtain your degrees. Thank you.
I'm Marie McNiff, the Academic Dean at Augsburg College, and I feel the celebration in the air, so it's a great day. It's a splendid day for all of us. Chairperson Gage, President Anderson, members of the Board of Regents, faculty emeriti, distinguished guests, members of the Augsburg community, alumni, students, family, and friends. On behalf of the faculty at Augsburg College, upon whose recommendation these degrees are granted, and in their name, it is my privilege to present the candidates for the degrees Master of Arts in Leadership, Master in Social Work, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, and Bachelor of Science. Mr. President, in this 127th year of Augsburg College, I present the class of 1996.
Will the graduates who are to receive the degrees Master of Arts in Leadership, Master of Arts in Education Leadership, and Masters of Social Work please stand? By virtue of the authority entrusted to me by the faculty and Board of Regents of Augsburg College, and upon nomination by the faculty, I now confer upon you who have completed all the requirements the degrees Master of Arts in Leadership, Master of Arts in Social Work, and Master of Arts in Education Leadership, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. As this degree is evidence of your successful completion of an advanced college curriculum, may it also always serve to remind you that in life the highest aim is truth. Will these candidates be seated? Will the graduates who are to receive the degree Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, or Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude, that is with highest honors, please stand? Please remain standing. Will the graduates who are to receive the degree Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, or Bachelor of Science, magna cum laude, that is with high honors, please stand? Will the graduates who are to receive any of the 3 degrees mentioned earlier, cum laude, with honors, please stand? And now will all of the graduates of 1996 and those who are to complete these requirements in the summer or fall terms please stand? Each year we have some people who stand taller, seated or reclining in their chairs in terms of ability and tenacity and everything else imaginable who stand taller in those positions than all the rest of us. And let's hear it for those people, too. Now, by virtue of the authority entrusted to me by the faculty and the Board of Regents of Augsburg College, and upon nomination by the faculty, I now confer upon you who have completed all the requirements the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, or Bachelor of Science, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. As this degree is an evidence of your successful completion of a college curriculum, it is our hope that it may also always remind you that in life the highest aim is truth. Please be seated. You'll be directed by the marshals to come forward. Dean McNeff will announce the names of the members of the class as they come to the platform. Mrs. Barbara Gage, Chairperson of the Board of Regents, will join me in the presentation of diplomas, assisted by Clarice Staff and Norman Noonan and Jay Finney, the Associate Registrar. There are always some questions about pictures. There are professionals taking pictures, and family may wish to, but don't park here for a long time, all right? Because other people would like to see what is going on. And as long as we're talking about consideration for other people, I have a request. Faculty has heard it every year. It's a request that is more honored in its breach than its observance. But we would request that applause or other exclamations be held until the entire class has been recognized. Your expressions of approval and satisfaction, or perhaps relief or surprise, are welcome. But we will hear the names better if you can control yourself. This is not a funeral, but if we can maintain some decorum. However, there's a limit to that. The high moment in all these years of presiding at these events came one year when, after I'd made this speech, halfway through someone came up, the name was read, and off in that area someone yelled, "Yay, Grandma." So you do what you think is appropriate. The marshals will guide you to the right place.
The degrees to be awarded today are Master of Arts in Leadership, Master in Social Work, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, and Bachelor of Science. After reading names of the candidates for the bachelor's degrees, 3 kinds of honors may be announced. First, Latin honors, summa cum laude with highest honors, magna cum laude with high honors, and cum laude with honors. These honors are based on cumulative grade point average. Candidates for Latin honors wear cords on the shoulders in the school colors, maroon and gray. Second, graduates who have completed the college's special honors program curriculum will be designated honors program graduate, and these honors scholars wear gold cords on their shoulder. And finally, students who have completed special curricular requirements with a high average in their disciplinary area of study will be noted as having received departmental honors. I will begin with the candidates for the degree for the Master of Arts in Leadership, and then go on with the Master of Social Work. Dr. Noonan will be assisting in placing the hood on each candidate, and for the Social Work, Dr. Clarice Staff. George Bernard Gill, Master of Arts in Leadership. Barry Vornbrock. The following candidates for Masters in Social Work: Thomas M. Adams, Carolyn K. Alexander, Ruth Ann Marino Belland, Michelle R. Braley, Alice L. Brown, Georgette M. Anawash Bunker, Vang Thomas Chang. Dolores D. Crum. Mari Marie Dougherty. Douglas E. Dooley. Kimberly Shannon Doran. Nils E. Dibvig. Michael I. Freyfjord. Louise Elizabeth Getz. Jan Brendan Hogrud. John A. Herbaugh. Anne Dussel Humes. Chris Lee Jacobs. Elizabeth Megan Jones. Claire L. Coonan Jordan. Barbara J. Keefe. Elaine S. Korsch. Kenneth D. Kasemczak. Anita M. Kamenik Larson. Sandra J. Lindgren. Dina Marie Lovin. Kenneth E. Mayer. Timothy P. Mahoney. Kathy A. Maki. Amy L. Arseniak. Molly Schwegman Martin. Joanne M. Middahl. Susan Graff Mills. Robert L. O'Connor. Aline Gilbert Akwig. Kathy Hegna Olsey. Pamela Dione Perry. Eleonora Ristori Postner. Sally Ann Reynolds. Constance J. Roller. Gina Marie Schmuler. Sandra Ann Scott. Beverly A. Seifert. Margaret A. Schumacher. Chang Tot. Lori Jean Teal. Kathleen D. Thorson. Wendy Sue Walker. Jill A. Yeager. Edgar Young, Jr. And now for Bachelor of Arts, Tariku Adenu, cum laude. Timothy Joseph Ajax. Karen Akbari, summa cum laude. Andrea J. Albrecht. Peter Glenn Alexander. Lyle Allen Alexson, summa cum laude. Jennifer Lynn Amston, cum laude. Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, Eric Jeffrey Anderson. John A. Anderson. Jolynn Ray Anderson. Lee Scott Anderson. Polly J. Anderson, cum laude. Robert H. Anderson. Sarah Jennifer Anderson. Carlos Eduardo Andrade, cum laude. Connie Jean Arndt, summa cum laude. Verinda Paul Aurora. Michelle Catherine Audette. Melinda Ann Orant. Loveline Jeet Azad. Michelle Lee Ballot, cum laude. Dawn Lee Barber. Alice Elizabeth Barden, summa cum laude, departmental honors in theater arts, honors program. Krista Marie Barnard. Jennifer Ann Bauer. Jennifer Gail Bodette. Matthew James Beckman. Darla Lynette Bell. Lori L. Bennett, summa cum laude. Valerie Lynn Berard. Carla Lynn Betts, cum laude. Heather R. Birch, magna cum laude. Sarah Catherine Berklid, cum laude. Barry Walter Bloomgren, Jr. Jody Colleen Borner, magna cum laude. Stephen R. Bowl, cum laude. Mary Schaub Boland, cum laude. Kittredge Miller Bolton. Joseph T. Berner, magna cum laude. Eva Marie Bourgeois. John Michael Borgerie. Brina M. Boyer. Heather Crystal Brandley. Lawrence W. Brown. Mark Adam Brown, cum laude. Christopher Peter Bruce, cum laude. Suzanne Lottie Booty, magna cum laude. Karen Orfield Bullinger. Degate Joseph Bushen. Jeff Cameron.
All right, Jeff.
Suzanne M. Carey. Kristen Marie Carlson. Ryan C. Carlson, summa cum laude, honors program. Tara L. Carson, magna cum laude, honors program. Fonda Elizabeth Chacolas. Susan Marie Chilgren. Deanne Christensen, cum laude. Carla Jean Christensen. Daniel A. Cleland. Kelly A. Coggins. Tamsin B. Cohen. Julie Ann Corcoran. Benjamin Meisner Cowan, cum laude. Lynn M. Craig, cum laude. Kelly McKenzie Kramer. Cheryl Lynn Dolly, cum laude. Jeremy C. DeLagey. Melissa K. Deluge. Donna J. Davis. Jacqueline Loretta DeGeest, magna cum laude, Departmental Honors Business Administration International Business Honors Program. Terry T. DeGroat. Deborah Ann Dienhoff. Kelly Logan De La Cruz, magna cum laude. Jeffrey William Dennison. Natalie L. Diebel, cum laude. Cynthia L. Dinkins. Mindy Loinga Dolman. Brian Thomas Donahue. Lynn Marie Dusick. Paula M. Deerhaug, Departmental Honors in Psychology. Rachel Elaine Aker. Phyllis Joy Edwards. Charles Noble Ecoban. Scott Aaron Engel, cum laude. Rebecca Lee England. Julie Ann Erb, cum laude. Matthew Fawbush. Janice Elaine Fitzgibbon, summa cum laude, Departmental Honors in Religion. Gordon R. Flanders, magna cum laude. Kaya Ilan Fote, cum laude and departmental honors, art. Zoe Autumn Fote, magna cum laude, departmental honors, art. Elsie Forencom. David Corey Forsberg, magna cum laude. Holly Zita Fournier. Kenny Frank, cum laude. Jennifer Yvonne Franklin. Richard Carlson Gage. Ronald M. Gall, cum laude. Anne Marie Gallagher, cum laude. Crystal M. Germ. Katie E. Gerwing, magna cum laude honors program. Heidi E. Geyer. L'Oreal Lynette Gilbert. Jonathan Grant Gilbertson, cum laude. Tracy A. Gill. Carmen K. Gerger, summa cum laude. William Todd Goldwasser III. Milana Igorevna Gorshkova, magna cum laude, departmental honors, international relations, honors program. Kathleen J. Graber, magna cum laude. Justin Lee Grammons. Frank Grazzini II, cum laude. Roxanne Marie Greenan. Paula Lynn Green. Keith Richard Grindy. Joni Lynn Gross, magna cum laude. Nicholas Peter Grudal, magna cum laude. Miriam Esther Gutzman, summa cum laude, departmental honors in religion. Sandra Gayette, magna cum laude. Bradley J. Hadruba, cum laude. Mary A. Hamilton. Andrew Stephen Hansen. Heather Marie Hansen. Jason M. Hansen, magna cum laude. Michelle Barbara Lee Hansen, summa cum laude, departmental honors in psychology and honors program. Emily Diane Haroldson, magna cum laude. Lynn Marie Haroldson, magna cum laude. Kent Ryan Hardell. Stephanie Ann Harms, summa cum laude. Ernestine LaCheryl Harris. Lee A. Hartman. Lynn Hatcher. Elizabeth Ann Hathaway, magna cum laude. Daniel David Hatzung. Jeffrey Gustav Havrilla. Eric William Hay. Kenneth James Hayes, cum laude. Denise K. Heckman. Erica L. Hiron, cum laude, honors program. Angela L. Held. Robin Michelle Hesser. James R. Hord. Wendy Christine Hawkert, cum laude. Robert L. Haney, summa cum laude, honors program. Elise Ann Hoops. Jennifer Ann Roberts Heiser. Cynthia Sue Merritt Jackson, summa cum laude. David Allen Janasak. Christopher James Jarash, cum laude. Melissa Ann Jerky. Michelle M. Jerbick, cum laude. Craig Donald Johnson, cum laude. Dale Keith Johnson. Margaret Shan Johnson. Rebecca Juella Johnson, cum laude. Ryan E. Johnson. Stacy Christine Johnson. Stephen Douglas Johnson, cum laude. Susan K. Johnson, summa cum laude. Timothy C. Johnson. Vicki Lynn Johnson, magna cum laude. Daniel T. Kane. Penny Ann Koppitz, magna cum laude. David L. Kimmer, magna cum laude. Kelly R. Kent. Jennifer K. Kettering. Susan K. Kikos, magna cum laude. Young Yin Kim. Denise K. King, cum laude. Shelley Lynn Kingsley, magna cum laude. Paula Marie Klemp. Tracy Lynn Knutson. Holly Lynn Colander. Samantha Elizabeth Kopecki, magna cum laude. Susan K. Kowitz, magna cum laude, honors program. Laura Marie Crapella. Catherine M. Curvers, summa cum laude. Shelley M. Krzika, cum laude. Peter James Cutchess. Thomas Piper LaBelle. Ann M. Lala. Scott A. Lang. Lisa Larkins McKayen, magna cum laude. Amarita Catherine Larson. Lee T. Larson, cum laude. Chad Michael Lavatla. Sheridan Lauderbaugh, cum laude. Heather V. Loring. Michelle Marie Lee, magna cum laude. Phyllis Ann Lee. Jamie Ray Lynn Lenson. Rebecca J. Lenson, cum laude and departmental honors in religion. Anna Maria Lervik, summa cum laude. Matthew James Lassard. Leslie Battle Lewis. Eric Charles Lind. Christopher R. Lindstrom. Kimberly S. Lucas. Diane Marie Ludvigson. Jason James Lewers. Brittany Amber Lynch. Teresa Corinne McNabb. Scott A. Mogelson, summa cum laude, departmental honors in theater arts and honors program. Mary Ellen Malsed. James Lawrence Mandeville, cum laude. Soam Tavin Monticom. Dean Alexis Maroney. Susan Lynn Goodsky Martinek, magna cum laude. Stacy Marie Matheson, summa cum laude, honors program. Richard G. McChesney. Sean V. McKenzie. Benjamin Mintz, magna cum laude, departmental honors, international relations. Tony Melson. Teddy Nold Angelo Mendez. Jennifer Kari Menji, cum laude. Bryce Randolph Merriman, magna cum laude. Joshua Michael Metcalf, magna cum laude. Bernice E. Meyer. Bonita M. Myers Hertek, summa cum laude. Meg Jeanette Miller, cum laude. Teresa M. Miller, summa cum laude. K. Eloise Larson Mitchell. Jennifer Moen. Aaron Lee Molstead. Michael Morris. Luke N. Mosley. Ursula Morozic, magna cum laude. Cameron A. Middleton Muata, magna cum laude. Darlene Dolores Mueller, cum laude. James J. Moonguy. Heather Marie Munson. Matthew P. Munson. Pamela K. Munson, cum laude. Heidi Martha Mersch. Keith Daniel Muss, cum laude. Scott Christopher Needham. Carla Ray Nelson, magna cum laude. Kim Fong Wing, magna cum laude, Departmental Honors in Mathematics Honors Program. Carrie A. Nemi. Chad Richard Norman, cum laude. Kyles P. O'Connor. Jessica Christine Edding, magna cum laude, Honors Program. Nancy Lenore Oliver. John Christopher Olafson. Jamie Michael Olson. Rhonda J. Olson, magna cum laude, Honors Program. Susan Ann Olson. Stephen John Owell, cum laude. Stephen Daniel Orth, cum laude. Tracy Lynn Osey. Christina M. Otterson, cum laude. Susan Palm, summa cum laude. Jack Palmquist, summa cum laude. Lance Torrey Pappenfuss. Janice B. Parks, summa cum laude. Wei Mei Chang Parsons. Carl J. Pedersen. Jean K. Peebles, magna cum laude. Carrie Michelle Peters. David Bradley Peterson. Maria Pentrenko, magna cum laude. Sean Lay Postera. Fred Dino Promoli. Deborah Ruth Prokop. Susanna Luque Chiaro. Lindsay Ann Bacola. Samantha Ramchandran, cum laude, Departmental Honors in German Honors Program. Cherish Marie Rapp, Honors Program. Laura Marie Rear. Daniel B. Redman. Kenneth Arden Reeves. Jacob J. B. Rent. Tananya Asabayo Reta. Heidi Rigelman, summa cum laude. Judy L. Rodin. Rita Jo Rodriguez. Timothy John Ronneberg, cum laude. Karen Lavone Rapik, magna cum laude. Gregory L. Ross. Sandra Lynn Rudebeck. Jane Marie Rudolph. Carolyn Luckert Sampson. Barbara Lynn Sherber. Otar Rankin Schmitz. Eric Richard Schneider, cum laude. Jill Marie Schneider. Tamara Jean Schneider. Scott Andrew Scholl. Teresa Alicia Scholz. David Mark Scheiber, cum laude. Carol A. Schuett. Becky Ann Scott, magna cum laude. Stacy L. Seguin. Scott Seibert. Bindi Dinesh Shaw. Coral L. Shanahan. Carrie J. Shea, cum laude. Mary Heloise William Shell, cum laude. Dustin Renee Schoberg. Theodore C. Sjogren. Lois Ann Sietsma, summa cum laude. Frederick Tony Sila. Jeffrey W. Sluter. Natasha Renee Solberg. James Robert South. Andriana Ivanova Stamanova, magna cum laude, Departmental Honors, Business Administration, Finance and Economics and Honors Program. Christopher John Stanton. Elizabeth Catherine Steinhardt. Lee John Stevenson. Jill Marie Stitch. Krista J. Sullivan. Joseph Oliver Sundin. Timothy George Swanberg. Matthew John Sylvester. Sarah Margaret Sylvester. Joshua Joseph Talby, magna cum laude. Selena K. Taylor. Carrie Jean Terrio, cum laude. Panida Tapi Prasovan. Tiffany K. Thielen, magna cum laude. Tasha Thyman. Aram M. X. Thomas, cum laude. Kathleen Frederick Thompson. Suzanne M. Thurman. Erica Lynn Lee Tim. Felicia Ray Tui, magna cum laude. Vicki L. Turner. Richard John Twyford, cum laude. Joshua D. Vito, cum laude. Deborah J. Vega. Rhonda R. Veit, cum laude. Christopher Vestine. Lisa Marie Voigt, cum laude. Christopher Scott Wagner, cum laude. Paul Jean Wamingholm. Linnell M. Wakefield. Thaddeus J. Wavrin. Shelley R. Weiss, magna cum laude. Penny S. Wenner, summa cum laude. Gregory Ronald Wenzel. Jacqueline M. Wesley, magna cum laude. Brianna Marie Westrom, cum laude. Elizabeth G. Westrom. Ricard Wickstrom, summa cum laude. Catherine J. Wiltrot, magna cum laude. William Anthony Wingert. Samantha Ann Wood. Jean Ann Wolcott. Amy Warden, magna cum laude. Likyelish Warku. Scott Philip Wright, magna cum laude. Kai Yen. Elizabeth Yosef. Derek Shaw Zeeland. Scott Joseph Zimmer, summa cum laude. Bachelor of Music, Karen L. Anderson, cum laude. Carla M. Singer. LaGreta J. Stegner, summa cum laude. Bachelor of Science, Scott David Anderson, cum laude. Linda Louise Brown. Paula Ruth Brummel, summa cum laude. Tara Nicole Butler. Jules Cañez. Christine Marie Chell, magna cum laude. Jason Scott Christians, magna cum laude, honors program. Jennifer Ruth Cummings, cum laude. Maren Elizabeth Dodge. Young Fong Young, magna cum laude. Catherine Ann Fisher, summa cum laude. Robert T. Fitzsimmons Jr., summa cum laude. Jeffrey Dennis Hawks. Kristen Anna Hudson, cum laude. Jennifer Ann Hoffman. Cynthia Ann Ishta, magna cum laude. Kimberly A. Jandro, cum laude. Marva Louise Johnson Jefferson. Cynthia Ann Johnson, summa cum laude. Margaret Lubega Johnson. Lucinda Renee Jones. Lynn Brown Larson. Daniel J. Ledeen, magna cum laude and honors program. Shannon Lynn McGeegan. Christine J. Milan, summa cum laude. Annette F. Melland. Elizabeth Ann Meyer, summa cum laude. Catherine Ann Molstead. Dagago Nagasa. Heather Ann Orline. Tara Lee Overson. Michelle S. Parson. Wade M. Pearson. Jeffrey A. Peterson. Mark A. Peterson, magna cum laude. Tony Y. Ramirez. Deanne Scherfenberg. Catherine Mary Schmidt, cum laude. Kay Marie Schroeder, cum laude. Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, Laura Kristen Shaw, magna cum laude, Departmental Honors in Studio Arts. Nancy Ann Speltz. Colleen K. Spicer, cum laude. Kelly Jean Stute, magna cum laude. Mark F. Unger, summa cum laude. Dwayne L. Van Summeren, summa cum laude. Panasuk Warlala, magna cum laude, Departmental Honors in Chemistry. Robert P. Wasik, magna cum laude. Michael J. Weber. Wendy Zierman, magna cum laude. Congratulations to all.
We have a special recognition at this time, the presentation of the Marina Christensen Justice Award. And I would like Stacy Mattson to come forward, please. The Marina Christensen Justice Award is designated for someone who represents to a high degree Augsburg's motto of education for service. The student must have demonstrated a dedication to the kind of community involvement characterized by the personal and professional life of Marina Christensen Justice, who courageously and effectively reached out to bring equity and harmony, living Christian values to disadvantaged individuals and communities. The student selected to receive this award this year is Stacy Matson. The committee that did the deciding has informed me it is always a very difficult selection process due to the many students at Augsburg who devote a significant part of their lives to service in the community. Stacy was chosen for this award because of her commitment to service as well as her leadership in moving others to serve throughout her years at Augsburg. She has been crucial to the work of the LINK, that is Augsburg's student-run community service program, as well as serving as the head of the Peace and Justice Committee for the campus ministry leadership team, and was chosen as one of 12 Augsburg students to serve as a community service scholar this year. She also was awarded the Reader's Digest Award, a Regents Merit Scholarship, and the Ernest S. Egerton Family Scholarship for Christian Service in the Lutheran Church. Her community involvements include caring for children as part of St. Martin's Table Wednesday night out for single parents in the Cedar Riverside neighborhood, helping to organize the Halloween Safe Block and Christmas dinner for neighborhood families, participating in LINK-sponsored fall and spring cleanups, acting as a liaison between the Fresh Air Community Radio and the college, and working with Habitat for Humanity as part of Augsburg's alternative spring break trip this spring. Last fall, Stacy was chosen for a very competitive year-long public affairs internship position at Ecolab. This coming fall, she will begin studies at the law school at the University of Minnesota. And through Stacy, Augsburg's motto and the ideals of Marina Christensen Justice, these ideals for which she stood, continue to live on. And I'm very pleased to present this award. I have some announcements and about 3 remarks. I know everyone's anxious to make way to the doors. You are all invited to the reception, which we hope will be in Murphy Square, but we'll see what it's like when we get outside. It could be in the Christensen Center. I want to thank you for coming and for making this event possible. We thank the graduates for the years that they have invested in this place. You have 2 more tasks, in addition to finding a job, or if you're weekend college, to finishing the spring trimester. 1, and I'm serious on this, find someone today to thank, and do it today. It's the easiest thing in the world to do and the easiest thing to forget. My favorite bumper sticker is, when you come up behind it, if you can read this, thank a teacher. And you might consider that. And thank parents. There are many people who have had a hand in bringing you to this point in your lives. And the second thing I'd like to have you do is to find someone to take your place at Augsburg. We could have 568 informal admission reps working for no pay. It would be absolutely wonderful. Every graduate is special, but I note particularly there are 16 international students graduating today by the count given to me, representing 10 different countries. And I received a wonderful letter a few weeks ago from one grad I would like to single out. She suggested that she might be eligible for the Guinness Book of Records. She started her undergraduate program here in 1964. She moved to Kansas in 1965, where she put her husband through school. In 1984, she was back in the cities and she began work in the weekend college. In her time back at that period, she made a trip to Norway with the Saturn Choir. In 1995, she moved to Tennessee and commuted every other weekend to finish up her work. The last paragraph of her letter, I circulated the letter to the faculty, and I'm sure they appreciated it, but I would like to read the last paragraph. I feel I have one of the best college education one can possibly get. Augsburg has a faculty that cares. Augsburg may not be aesthetically beautiful, but it's what is on the inside that counts. On the inside, Augsburg is gorgeous. And from Bartlett, Tennessee, Kay Mitchell is out there, and I can't see a thing with these lights, but would you stand and just... There you are. Thank you. We want to thank especially parents and friends. Some of the parents and friends are from the Seward neighborhood, some in the Phillips neighborhood. That's only a few blocks away. Others have come across continents and oceans. And I'm sure my list is incomplete, but I have heard of parents and friends here today from Russia, Bulgaria, and Ethiopia. And I'm sure there are some from other countries. And will they and the other friends from overseas please stand just for a moment, wherever you are. I know that you're here someplace. Right over there? Yeah. I haven't seen her, but I was told that she is coming, and I would note the presence, I should say, of the Honorable Sharon Sales Belton and her husband, Stephen. Sharon is the mayor of Minneapolis, and she spoke here about 2 years ago. Is she here somewhere? Maybe not, I can't see. She was here with Thomas, I believe. Finally, or almost finally, we thank the faculty, and you are the ones who will be remembered and blessed by students in the years ahead. We recognize especially two persons who are retiring this year, Beverly Durkee and Ed Saugestad. Between those two, they have 67 years of service to the school, and I won't tell how that adds up. That would be impolite. We thank the staff who support this venture. We thank the regents who guide our paths. We have representatives who are here. There are 6 persons this year who have completed 12 years of service and who must retire. One of them asked me how many graduates had passed through since in the 12 years that she had been on the board, and it's somewhere in the range of about 5,060. I will not ask them to stand, but we express our deep gratitude to these volunteers, and then thanks also to the donors who help us on our way. Somewhere you've heard earlier, you now have all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. You know, I don't know, there are not a lot of them, but one thing, you can now wear your tassel on the left side, unless you want to wear your hat backwards, like Mark said he was going to do. And you also have the right and privilege of participating actively in the Alumni Association. I'm sure you'll hear from them. We thank all of you.
One last announcement. All those in robes can remain standing following the benediction, and the rest we are going to ask to just take a brief time to sit down so you can watch the recessional. Receive the benediction. Now let us depart in peace, committed to sharing joyfully the resources of our lives with the entire human family. And may God direct our days and deeds in peace. Amen.